Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ.
Aloha, I'm Pakalana Helekahi.
I'm Janely Ho'opai.
I'm Shalyn Bray Ho'opai.
And I'm Patience Helekahi Moore. We're here on the east side of Maui, on our beautiful campus, Hana K-12 School.
Home base for today's episode of HIKI NŌ, the nation's first statewide student news network.
HIKI NŌ means can do, and you'll see what students from our team of schools can do. This episode's team is made up of intermediate and high schools from 4 islands.
From Kauai, there's Chiefess Kamakahelei Middle School.
On Hawaii Island, we have KEA'AU High in Hilo and West Hawaii Explorations Academy in Kona.
From Oahu, you'll hear from Waialua High in Intermediate, Kapolei High, Kalani High, and St. Francis School. Here on Maui, we have Lokelani Intermediate,
Maui High School.
And of course, Hana K-12 School, home of the dragons.
On this show, you'll hear from diverse voices across the island chain,
telling stories that connect communities. On HIKI NŌ,
can do.
Before we introduce our first story, we'd like to recognize the grand organizations that made HIKI NŌ a reality.
They believed that Hawaii could create the nation's first statewide student news network. They put their faith in us and say can do. To them we say mahalo.
Now, on with the show.
We're going to begin our show today on our beautiful campus, Hana K-12 School, which is located here in Waikio, Hana, on the island of Maui. Our school is home to over 350 students, some of whom travel to Hana as far as Kea'AU to Kauai. From the island of Maui, we now take you to Kapolei High School, on the island of Oahu, where overnight, mysterious creatures have been popping up around their school. What are these creatures and how did they come about?
Overnight, mysterious creatures have been popping up all around Kapolei High School. What are these mysterious creatures?
My first thoughts upon the opu was, what is this creature? Why is it here? What does this have to do with any of us?
A lot of people don't understand what it is, and so it kind of just causes a lot of confusion. They were like, I don't know, but I think it's going to be our mascot. And I was like, I don't think so.
It didn't really have a purpose. It didn't bring our school together, nor did it help the school in any manner, except to display meaning, but they didn't even understand what the meaning was.
And the story is primarily to inspire students to want to stay in school, to hang in there, to be adaptable, to evolve into adults, to do everything they can to be successful. And the fish are all headed towards the library because I consider the library as a symbol of enlightenment and knowledge, which we all need, no matter what we do.
The o'opu is something that truly represents our school, whether it's an evolution of how the students evolve to adapt to their setting.
It's something unique. It's a little weird, but I think that deep down inside it has an actual meaning.
They also represent a resilient side of students that students don't know they're capable of.
I got this project in 2005, and I had several ideas which included the o'opu to propose for the campus. And then I took a trip out to the Northwest Hawaiian Islands. And on that voyage, I saw an environment that very few people see, and I realized the importance of that resource. The idea of using this goby was reinforced in my mind. I became more sure that that's what I should use as the example for what I think are good traits. And these traits are adaptability. The fish is swept down from their mountain top habitat, which is the top of a 1,000-foot waterfall, down to the ocean where they survive in salt water, so they're adaptable. And I'm hoping that our students are adaptable. We need to be adaptable. We're comfortable living in this very beautiful environment, but at some point we may have to leave the islands. And even if we don't, if you're young and you're growing up, you have to learn to be adaptable to other people, all kinds of different situations.
In the future, we hope that students can fully understand the true meaning of the o'opu and not see it as some mysterious creature. This is Kimmy Owens reporting from Kapolei High School for HIKI NŌ.
If you'd like to stay connected with what's happening on HIKI NŌ, log on to our Facebook page. It's filled with photos and current info regarding the show. You can also follow us on Twitter at HIKI NŌ Can Do. It's a great way to get reminders about upcoming episodes.
Every Monday, our students welcome their teachers with a oli homo that was written for the students of Hana School. It helps them focus to receive knowledge. From Hana, let's take it to Hilo. KEA'AU High School shares how a dancing studio in Hilo is used to battle the dangers of smoking tobacco. No smoke, just dance.
The Center Stage Dance Studio of Hilo teaches ballet, ballroom, hip-hop, and modern. Aside from dancing, a group of young dancers has been working hard to educate the youth on the dangers of tobacco use.
Well, I started Center Stage Dance Studio 5 years ago, or a little bit more than 5 years ago, because there was a need in the community for a dance studio. We decided that we really needed to start a place where people of all ages and all skill levels could come and get classes of all different kinds, and I just decided that if nobody else was going to do it, then I needed to do it.
It's like a cheap form of therapy, one word to say so. I don't know, I dance. I dance because I feel like I have to dance, and it forms connections with people in the community, for me, my friends. It's a way for my family to see, a way for me to express myself.
Recently, the dancers came to our school to give a presentation on how the tobacco industry influences the youth to use their products.
I work with REAL, an anti-tobacco industry organization, where I perform for them so I can use dance as an expressive outlet and to teach youth that the tobacco industries are targeting them through hip-hop. So I'm trying to counter that with hip-hop and say that the tobacco industries are doing the wrong thing, and the best way to be an individual is to express yourself and to not give into the conformity that the industries are trying to create for the youth.
I really needed to find an outlet, so my outlet was basically dance, and I put my love and my passion into it, and basically that became my life. I forgot about smoking, I forgot about drinking, and now when I think back on that kind of stuff, it's just like, it's nothing to me. And now, after dancing for 7 years, training as hard as I've been training, and now I've become a teacher, and my main goal is to take the skills that I have now and put it into the younger generation. That way the younger generation has an anti-drug to turn to and an outlet to turn to.
As you can see, Center Stage Dance Studio is providing more than just dance classes.
Really family oriented. Like, all of us here is like one big family. I hang out with everybody here outside of class and everywhere.
Nothing can touch me when I dance. And Center Stage is like my home, my dance home.
This is Keenan Sartain reporting from Kauai High School for HIKI NŌ.
And now, here's something special from one of our HIKI NŌ schools.
Fire knife dancing to me is a game of inches, because at any given time, you are an inch away from death.
24-year-old fire knife dancing veteran Martin Tevego, also known as Chief Tupai, knows a lot about coming close to death. He has been doing Samoan fire knife dancing since he was 4 years old.
I think knowing that at any given time I could get seriously injured is one of the reasons why I do it. It kind of gives me the adrenaline and makes me want to be better at it every time.
Number one fire dancer in the world, let's give our Chief Tupai.
I risk my life every single day trying to learn a new technique.
This passion has helped Tevego sharpen his skills. At the World Fire Knife Championships this year, he placed in the top 9 among the world's best dancers.
Practice as much intriguing moves that you can and try and be the fastest and the more, to come with more techniques than anybody else. So it's a year-round training, it never stops, and there's no off-season in fire knife dancing.
His desire to get better is fueled by his family traditions.
Fire knife dancing is very much a family tradition to me. My dad was one of the first fire knife dancers on Maui, and therefore godfathered the sport and the cultural dance for what it is now.
Twirling, throwing, and catching the flaming knife, or nifo'oti, Tevega entertains tourists at the KEA'AU Moana Luau and at the Polynesian Village Luau 5 nights a week. But the original intent of the nifo'oti has a much darker side.
The origin of the fire knife, though, it used to be war weapons, a war club, which consisted of shark teeth and a hook at the top, and it was used in battle, and the hook was used to bring home the heads of the enemies.
Even though fire knives are no longer used as weapons, mishandling it can still cause serious injury.
Because you take the risk of getting burnt, cut, and severely hurt every single time you touch the fire knife.
Despite the dangers, Tevega hopes to continue to light up the audiences with his vili tuas, vilis, and tongis.
Because of the passion and the love that I have for the cultural dance and that sport, I continue to do it.
This is Rosalind Domingo from Maui High School for HIKI NŌ.
The east side of Maui is a land rich of history and flavor. It is the birthplace of Queen Ka'ahumanu, the favorite wife of King Kamehameha I. She was born in 1777 to a lineage of chiefs right behind the majestic Ko'uiki Hill here in Hana. We now take you to the island of Oahu, where Kalani High students explain the step-by-step process of various ceramic techniques and how it can be a very relaxing activity.
Welcome to ceramics! Yay!
In Kalani High School ceramics class, students can express themselves through clay. There are two basic steps for ceramics: wet clay work and glazing. In wet clay work, there are three techniques that are used: pinch pot, oils, and throwing. Unique pieces are made through these three techniques. After wet clay work, your piece gets put in the kiln and fired to a pink color. Here the students will paint their pieces with glaze. After glazing, the piece is fired for the final time, completing the artwork with a glossy color.
Our school motto is Ka'ike ake kulana kauhale apau hihei na kikiki, which means the knowledge of the whole village is absorbed by the child. We truly believe this applies to us because our community helps us out in so many ways. Our community is really important to us. Chiefess Kamakahelei School shares how one population of nene is booming on Kauai, but there's just one problem. Let's find out what it is.
The nene is like the bird of Hawaii. It's one of the few remaining. There were only 30 birds left up in the mountains, only 30 that were wild in the entire state.
Although the nene's population has grown steadily, there are still only about 2,000 in the world. However, on Kauai, one population of nene are thriving, growing from 5 pairs of birds to over 400 and counting since 1999. This one location alone represents a whopping 20% of the nene population in the world. However, there's just one problem.
The concern is that there's a large number of birds that are nesting and breeding, and it's a growing population on Kauai Lagoons Resort. But it happens to be right next to the Kauai, the Lihue Airport, right in between the two runways.
Luckily, there is a solution to this problem, which involves the Hawaii Department of Transportation and the Department of Land and Natural Resources.
So it's a public safety issue. So our job is to move the birds away from the Kauai Lagoons so that they're not a risk to the airplanes.
But moving the nene isn't as easy as putting them in a box and sending them to an outer island. And it's not cheap either.
It involves capturing the birds, putting them on an airplane or a helicopter, flying them off, putting in a pen, and taking care of them, then tracking their movements, and then making sure they survive and reproduce at their new site. Total cost over the entire 5-year period, it's going to be about $1.5 million in the first year, and it'll be about $800,000 each year after that. It turns out that moving them is not all that easy. It's an enormous number of birds, 400, 800, or 1,000 birds possibly. They've got to be moved in a safe manner so that they're not harmed. We want to make sure that the birds don't just fly out of that site and fly right back to Kauai. And so what we can do in order to get them acclimated to that new site is to clip their wings so that they can't leave the site.
Initially, the cost of this project will be funded by the Department of Transportation. However, after the 5th year, the Department of Land and Natural Resources will have to find a way to keep their project funded if it's still a problem. Both agencies are working hard with the state to not only protect and safely move the birds, but to also protect the airline passengers coming in and out of the Lihue Airport.
It's a big job, but it can be done, and we're looking forward to doing it.
For HIKI NŌ, this has been Sheree Kua reporting from Chiefess Kamakahelei Middle School.
If you'd like to stay connected with what's happening on HIKI NŌ, log on to our Facebook page. It's filled with photos and current info regarding the show. You can also follow us on Twitter at HIKI NŌ KEA'AU. It's a great way to get reminders about upcoming episodes. Makahana Ka'ike is a building program for our Hana High School students. The students learn building skills and then create handicap access ramps, community centers, and small homes for our kupuna. Lokelani Intermediate School shows us how to make a tasty treat for the fall season. It is toasted pumpkin seeds local style.
Do you want to make toasted pumpkin seeds the local style? Preheat oven. Scoop out the seeds. Clean the seeds. Add 8 cups of water in the pot. Then add the seeds. Next, add 4 tablespoons of Hawaiian salt. Boil the water and let it simmer. Drain the seeds from the pot. Spread oil on the pan. Spread the seeds on the pan. Make sure not to overlap them. Bake for 10 to 20 minutes or till seeds turn brown.
While the seeds are still hot, add flavors like lihi mui.
Let them cool.
You can also eat them with the shells on.
Some ono.
In Hana, we have a community garden called Mahele Gardens. It provides fruits and vegetables for the families of Hana. Our students and a lot of community members come on a weekly basis to plant, weed, harvest, and share the produce. Waialua High Intermediate School shares how a non-profit organization called Hawaii Middle trains service dogs for wounded soldiers in their physical and mental recovery, the most common being post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD.
The poet Bern Williams once said, "There is no psychiatrist in the world like a puppy licking your face." Marine Lance Corporal Daniel Carter was stationed in Afghanistan in February of 2010. Carter was severely wounded in combat, and almost 2 years later, he still has medical complications, which also include symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, which is commonly called PTSD.
PTSD is a mental health condition triggered by a terrifying experience. Some of the symptoms associated with it are nightmares, severe anxiety, flashbacks, and these can also be accompanied by thoughts of the actual event itself that are uncontrollable.
Carter is one of the few Hawaii-based Marines who received 100% disability due to his injuries.
I was shot once in the chest and I was blown up 3 different times.
Some of his physical injuries included gunshot and shrapnel wounds, nerve damage, broken ribs, and internal bleeding.
And when I came back, I was forced to go into the Wounded Warrior program, and once there, the docs never released me.
Susan Lors of Hawaii Fido trains puppies to become certified companion service dogs for the soldiers in the Wounded Warriors program.
But oftentimes they need a dog that does more than calm them down and help with the anxiety. The Wounded Warrior dogs are trained just like the regular service dogs. It's a 2-year training program. They do lots of training skills, and then they're matched with an individual who also gets trained.
Finn is a unique dog. He takes care of me when I'm in a lot of pain and I can't get out of bed. He'll get my medication for me. He'll get on the bed and comfort me. When I'm having bad dreams at night, he'll wake me up so I don't have to experience it.
We have found the results of this program that definitely reduces anxiety, helps with the night dreams, night terrors, gets them out of their homes, interacting with society, and overall just kind of keeps them calmed down.
I see a huge difference. I'm a lot more active. I talk to people a lot more. I'm doing this interview right now. So, with Finn in my life, I've quit drinking, I've quit smoking, I'm not as angry. I think I'm a lot more happy of a person.
Carter, along with Finn, has recently left to California to pursue his dreams of attending college and becoming a counselor for soldiers in the Wounded Warriors program.
This is Waialua High School reporting for HIKI NŌ.
Our school values are ho'ihi, pono, and kuleana. We believe that our students should always be respectful, make right choices, and take care of their responsibilities. Let's go from our school to West Hawaii Exploration School and listen as they share the effects of living near an active volcano.
According to the State of Hawaii website on VOG, VOG is volcanic smog. It is the reaction from the combination of sunlight, oxygen, and volcanic gases. During research at West Hawaii Explorations Academy, students found that VOG increases as elevation increases to a certain point. VOG also increases as the day goes on. It's light in the morning and gets heavier in the evening. Because VOG is unhealthy to breathe, there are a few things you can do to lessen its effects on you. Plants absorb VOG fumes, so make sure to have a lot of potted plants in your home. Like plants, a mixture of 1 teaspoon of baking soda to 1 liter of water poured over a sheet and hung in the air will also absorb VOG fumes. Anything that weakens your immune system, such as mold, dust, smoking, and any other type of sickness makes you more vulnerable to VOG, so don't smoke and live a healthy lifestyle.
At the end of the school year, May 2012, Hana School will be celebrating our centennial. We're standing in front of our old Hana School building, which is located behind the majestic Kauai Hill. Hana K-12 relocated in the early 80s to our current campus in Waialua, Hana. St. Francis School shares the stories about 2 sisters with many challenges, but always have a positive attitude and do not ever think that there's anything that they cannot accomplish.
Hannah's my oldest. She's 10, and she was diagnosed with Asperger's, which falls under the autism spectrum. And usually kids with Asperger's has problems with social cues, social interactions. So Sarah, we had no idea nothing was wrong with her until after she was born. And then the doctors came to us, and then they explained that she was missing a radius. And along with that, a lot of times came other health problems. But there's so many different syndromes out there, they didn't know what it was. So basically, they sent her home with us, not knowing what was going to go on with her. So I had to do a lot of research online. Sarah was diagnosed with PDD-NOS, and she was also diagnosed with Vaudeville Association. That's a big acronym. Both girls were also diagnosed dyslexic. And Sarah's had over 12 surgeries, surgical procedures. And because of that, she lived the first couple years, pretty much in and out of the hospital. When Sarah was little, Sarah didn't see any differences at all. And then as she's gotten older, other kids start becoming more aware and pointing it out. So we've had a couple of incidences where kids weren't so nice about it.
I don't like hanging out with her sometimes, because she can be mean sometimes. Okay, Sarah, just a little bit.
Sarah has the confidence to be able to respond the same way and say, hey, I have blonde hair, you have brown hair. I have blue eyes, you got green eyes. We're different, but we're still the same. And then, I tell her too, you can always tell them, you surf, do you surf?
We've been surfing for 2 years, and then if we stay here for February, it'll be 3 years.
Access Surf is a great community, you know, and it's like family. We go there, we know everybody, and we appreciate all the volunteers that donate their time to teach the kids to surf. Even if they don't stand on the board, it's just a matter of getting out there and the healing properties of the ocean, you know, and doing something that a lot of people never even dream of doing. We also get to meet other parents to talk to that have similar issues also and what they're going through. And it's a great way also to educate other parents what programs are available even through the military or the civilian community that could benefit their families.
I've seen some growth with them, just within them reaching out and socializing with other kids, other people, as well as their more independence and feelings of self-esteem, I think has increased with their, as they grow to achieve different levels of success with the recreation things that they do. I see them gain more of a positive self-esteem and ego, which is great.
There's no being depressed about, you know, oh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You know, you find a way to do it, so.
Smile, Sarah.
She does.
Well, that's it for this week's show. So join us next week to see what the students of Hawaii can do, only on HIKI NŌ and only on PBS Hawaii.
We now leave you with a montage of sights and sounds of beautiful Hana Maui.
E ana mu'olaulani o kawalani ha'a ha'a mai kawalani kuliai kupunawai o Waiu. Ma ke kumo ka puhilina e ka malamalamo ke kupuye. E ana mamo ka wiki. Na o pio hanane. Na kamaloa na kuai. Ma'ane no mako me ko leo hea hea e ulu na ua. E leo liwale no
Broadcasts of HIKI NŌ are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI NŌ.